everything about this library. I told Owen when I walk up to this building, I always just look right up to the top of the building. I love the redstone, I love the stained glass windows. To me, it just is community. When I come in here, the staff is warm and wonderful. It is community. I love it. It just feels like how I wanted Belchertown to feel when I moved here.
It's such a pleasant place to be that I like coming.
Reading is a pleasure and an outlet for anyone, especially those at my age.
The library is a very important place for socialization of children. It's many times their first opportunity to interact with other kids.
Visual materials and artwork related to the area, that would be my interest in the library.
The library is just such a great place.
I think the offerings are very good, how they have all the programs, books, almost everything.
Here at the Clapp Memorial Library, we love to involve the community, and as an example, this is a monthly rotating exhibit put on by the Belchertown Historical Society.
The staff that we have now really makes this library work, even with its inadequacies. They're knowledgeable, they're friendly, they're dedicated. We couldn't be doing what we do now without a staff like this.
I love to browse magazines, and I just love to be with people, and I find here in the Clapp Library that there are always people here, and they respect each other and they share, and there's just a nice hum in the background, which I enjoy.
It's just that we just love the library, and all of the staff have always been so helpful, and we try to support the library in every way we can.
Whenever I have a project or anything to do for school, I can assume that I can come to the Clapp Memorial Library and they'll have anything I need to do that project.
It's really good, and I've been coming here for a long time, so everybody should come.
I think the library is the heartbeat of the town. I think anybody can come here, all walks of life, and we're all treated equally. And it's all free. You don't have to come in here and pay to use the computer. You don't have to come in here and pay to get a library card. Everybody can afford to come to the library, and if you don't, utilize it, you're missing out.
The library has a very interesting beginning. Can you just imagine living in Belchertown during that period of time? 1883 it started, it was built and came into fruition in 1887. But here was this marvelous building going up right on South Main Street. And there must have been a lot of comings and goings on the railroads, bringing things in and building, and all this wonderful brownstone from Long Meadow. It's made out of Long Meadow brownstone. The library was started through a bequest from John Francis Clapp, who lived right on this street, just 2 houses down from me, was the Clapp homestead. These wonderful windows, this one was put in by his brothers, the other one was another man who had left money for public schools and a public library, Calvin Bridgman. And one represents literature and the other represents music. The interesting thing was, in his directions to his brothers of what he wanted, they had a lot of talks according to what his brother wrote about him. They had many long talks about what he wanted this library to represent. And one of them, he says, he wanted it positioned on the property so there could be room for expansion, even back then. And so what we're doing today is just following his wishes.
We homeschool. We don't go to school. We stay here and learn all of our work that we need to learn. And so the library is like essential. It is vital for us because we couldn't possibly buy all the books that we need. And it's so great. You can just call up anytime you're looking for a specific book, and it's never ever once have they not been able to get it for me and get it so quickly.
I love to talk about the library to people because I just think it's a charming place to be, and there's just so much here for people. Music, magazines, tapes. I've even got my husband to come, and he comes very easily now. He was never a reader, and he is now a reader. He has found this such an enjoyable place to come.
At the library, they have a high-speed internet connection, which I don't have in my house. So it cuts down on the time that I need to look up stuff drastically. So
Either my friends pick up what I want, or Nancy on her way home will always bring me a book that I've called for, and then she'll even pick them up when I'm through with them. So what better service could I ask for, or could anyone ask for? And there's no charge, and she makes you feel like it's a privilege for her to do it for you.
I joined the book club, and they pick my books for me, and it's a smart, fun evening I always look forward to.
Well, we come into the library often, maybe 2 or 3 times a week. I homeschool my kids, so this is like our main place to get our books, and I've just noticed a lot of times that they're very busy, and one time they had us sign up for a volunteer, and I volunteered.
They have parenting workshops that I like to come to. Sometimes they have cooking workshops that I like to. So they offer a wide variety of things to the community, not just to children. There's, stuff for all ages to come to here.
It gives you so much freedom, and I just been reading, and it's more like a habit. It's not a bad habit, but it's just, I just love how authors can put down these words and you can actually understand them. These programs like CLAP are great. They always are free, and they're not just free because they're little programs, but they're actually really good programs, and they can actually teach you something.
The Friends are Belchertown residents, and then some. We have over 500 members of the Friends, and we're looking to expand our membership. The Friends are a member-based fundraising vehicle for the library. What we do is, through fundraising efforts, collect as much money as possible to help provide the library with book collections, periodicals, technical services. We have our book sales twice a year. We have other fundraising events, and we sponsor a lot of the children's programs here within the library. We have, for the last 3 years, been able to be a part of the parade, and this past year we won first prize, which was incredible because the library I don't think has ever won, and we had a great time doing it. Clap for America was what we chose as our theme, and that's why we chose one person or family member to represent each state, and they had a variety to pick from, obviously with 50 states, but there were no holds bars on the costumes. We had everyone from Elvis, who represented Memphis, to I was the Statue of Liberty from New York. We had someone dressed as a potato. We had a child dressed as a Georgia peach. I mean, we had a great time. It was a lot of fun.
Let's face it, a book takes up a certain amount of space. You have a population that uses a library, and there are standards based on experience as to how many materials are needed to meet the basic needs of that population. The problem you have, so space is one of the major things. You also have things like technology you're trying to plan for. And the capability just isn't here, nor is the space in Belchertown. And Belchertown, last I recall, is projected to be one of the leading population growth areas in Western Massachusetts. And so I believe projections are very high The town has grown considerably in the 13 years I've been involved in the Western region, and you're in the 13 or so thousand population range now, and I think you're projected to go up around 20,000. And so you have to be planning to meet the needs of 20,000 people.
It began really when we hired the consultant to do the sort of the feasibility study. We took great pains to interview a considerable number of people in town. So that was really the first interaction that we had, an input we had from the community.
Make it bigger and spread it out more so the kids have their section, the adults have their section, the teens have their section. I like that idea.
I think that's one of the main reasons that the town should invest money in a library expansion, because it serves all ages, right from preschoolers, toddlers, up through the elderly, and there's such a wide and nice variety of things for all those ages. I think it's a good investment for the community.
Cozy corner to read in, of where it's nice and quiet, or more workplaces where you could go and just really read and study. I could prepare lessons even. Sometimes I don't get much done here.
At some points in the day, the computers will really get filled up, and there will be like 3 or 4 people that want to come in and use the computers, but they'll have to wait about half an hour or 45 minutes because there's a line and there's a waiting list for everyone, and that takes a lot of time.
If they had more in hand, then it would be less problems for them to go and get a book from another library. They'd have it right here.
In the evenings, they had adult classes there. I took rug hooking in the room downstairs. So it was kind of a center for Belchertown for lots of reasons. So I think that's what it also can be again.
Walden is a very, very important part of this community, and it has a rich historical background all the way to the native people who used to live in the valley. And I think it's very, very essential to have as much of that information that's available in one spot where people can come and research, and rather than a few, there's some things at the Stone House, there's lots of things at the Historical Society, but this is the center, and I think everything should be here.
It's about 25 to 7 in the evening, and it's hot in here. I think air conditioning would be nice. I would love to be able to come to the library between 1 and 5 in the summer. We've expanded everything else in town. Since I've been here, we've got a middle school, we have elementary school, we have a new high school, a new police station, a senior center, a fire station. The library serves all age groups. The library needs to expand with the town, like everything else has had to expand with the town.
Maybe a community room would certainly add to the community as far as the kind of programs that could be made available to people, because the library is in such a central location in Belchertown. Parking might be another thing that could be considered. There are a lot of pluses with expansion. Not that it's not serving the community now, but I think that the library could be a more vibrant institution for people with expansion.
It's kind of cramped a little bit.
I think it does need to expand. I really like to come here. I feel very comfortable here even when it is crowded. I love the historical part of it, so I hope that they keep that. I love to come here and kind of feel like I'm a little bit back in time and just relax. But I think they do need to expand. I think, there are days when it does get a little bit crowded here and you do have to wait to use computers. And I think, an expansion, they're going to make a good thing even better.
When we met with the architect for the very first time, that was critical that the architect understand that this particular building, needs to be integrated with the new construction. And that was one of the reasons that we selected this architect, because we looked at their work and they had done this many, many times, and we liked what we saw.
One of the things that I'd like to emphasize, that I think ever since the library has been built, that there has been this good relationship between the town and the library. And the town has always, I think, supported this museum, and more so now it's become more of an integral part of the town. And I certainly would hope that in the future, as we begin to look forward to building, hopefully, that the town will also still be there and still support the expansion of the library.
A lot of people get very stuck in saying, you can't muck with this. This is how it was intended to be. And the fact that the person who put this place together and was the inspiration for it was already envisioning the need to do more is, I mean, all those arguments and all that history and keep it the way it is shot down by that very vision. I think it's really, times change, populations change, needs change, and the libraries have to be able to change as well. And this is a perfect example. It's got such beauty to it. Historically and architecturally, it's a beautiful place. You build onto that and enhance that by making it even more functional. It enhances everything.
Quite frankly, one of the most critical pieces of this whole project is going to be raising the local funds, the capital campaign, really, to get this built. We are required by the state to raise a certain amount of money, and we have had a development committee established, sort of a subcommittee of the Board of Trustees, and we have, that committee is it's a fantastic committee. Those folks work tremendously hard, and they have been working now for about a year and a half to put together the process for the capital campaign. We are going to have to be conducting an educational public relations campaign to let the community, let all the residents of the community of Belchertown know why we need the addition. And you know, there are a number of people that haven't been in the library. They need to come in the library when it's open during an active day and see how crowded it is, and you know, they'll see for themselves why we need the additional room.
It's just a beautiful place to come into.
I sure hope the expansion goes forth quickly and we get it done while I'm still around to enjoy it.
We are looking for more ideas, more crazy ideas, more fun ideas, ways that we can bring more members in and give something back to the community.
Get involved, come to the library, spend some time here.
Come visit, it's a great place to be.
So much part of our life.
What have you got to lose? Nothing.